Society has a default setting. We are taught that a successful life is a loud one, packed with constant motion, crowded rooms, and an endless social calendar. To keep up, you have to stay moving. The modern world demands hustle. It rewards the people who match the relentless, chaotic energy of the streets outside, turning exhaustion into a status symbol. But there are people who do not crave that noise. They prefer the familiar walls of their own rooms and the sound of stillness. And because they step away from the crowd, outsiders often mislabel them. They get told they are missing out, that they are isolated, or that they lack ambition. Hearing those assumptions can sting. It creates a subtle internal pressure, a nagging thought that enjoying a quiet evening at home is somehow a psychological flaw, a weakness that needs to be fixed to fit in. But these individuals are not running away from life. They are making a highly intentional choice to run toward peace. When you step out of the rush and into the contained, deliberate space of a quiet home, the psychology behind this preference becomes clear. Look at this conceptual diagram of the brain. Psychologists identify a trait here called high internal self-presence. Notice how the dense, glowing pathways indicate an extremely active inner world, even when the person's physical exterior is completely still. They feel more connected to their thoughts than to the outer environment. Because their baseline for imagination, deep thought, and emotion is already so vivid, they don't require loud external excitement to feel engaged. A quiet room provides all the stimulation they need. Inside their minds, every small moment becomes a story. Every memory is analyzed for a lesson. Joy grows rich, sadness turns into art, and they take the time to feel their emotions fully, without rushing to keep up with the pace of anyone else. For these individuals, the home is never a hiding place. It is a necessary sanctuary, the only environment that gives their complex inner world enough room to breathe. Navigating the external world means constantly filtering sensory input. You are surrounded by noise, chaos, and unpredictable social dynamics. That level of stimulation forces the nervous system to stay on high alert. When a person is deeply affected by noise and emotional unpredictability, constantly reacting to that chaos rapidly drains their emotional energy. We can visualize this through an energy meter. This graphic demonstrates the concept of energy management. In unpredictable, chaotic environments, emotional reserves deplete quickly. But in stable, predictable spaces, that energy is preserved and restored. People often assume this need to recharge is strictly for introverts. Extroverts also rely on this exact biological mechanism to restore their capacity for social interaction. A private home offers the ultimate control over your environment. It is a place where you dictate the volume, the lighting, and the company, allowing an overstimulated nervous system to finally settle. Choosing to stay in is a rational act of self-preservation. It is a deliberate strategy to regulate the nervous system, built on a preference for warmth and familiarity, rather than a fear of the outside. This deliberate boundary setting extends to relationships. Physical isolation inside a home does not mean a person is emotionally empty or disconnected from others. The text here highlights a crucial psychological distinction. Loneliness is unchosen. It is a state of feeling disconnected even in a crowded room. Solitude is chosen. It is an intentional boundary. Because homebodies feel things intensely, they value emotional safety. They evaluate whether someone is safe to trust before letting them into their inner world, preferring to curate their connections deeply, rather than spread their energy thinly across small talk. This careful curation produces authentic, profoundly loyal relationships. If you make it into their small circle, you receive a level of empathy, gentleness, and undivided attention that most distracted people simply cannot offer. Choosing solitude requires emotional strength. By protecting their peace when they are alone, they build the capacity for much deeper, richer connections when they finally open the door. Outside the window, the world continues its relentless pace. Cars rushing, people moving with constant urgency. Inside, there is intentional stillness. Society glorifies that constant hustle, framing rest as laziness and stillness as a failure to participate. The reality is that rest is a biological requirement for growth. Quiet observation is how we achieve mental clarity. A loud, reactive world actually depends on the traits cultivated in that quiet space. We need people who listen before speaking, who think deeply before acting, and who understand emotions through pauses rather than just words. This leads to a rare quality known as self-companionship. It is the ability to sit alone with your own thoughts without fear, to sit with your emotions and still feel entirely whole. Protecting your peace is a profound strength. The individuals who master the quiet mind aren't missing out on life. By living with deep intention, they are the very people who make the world itself feel a little more empathetic, grounded, and authentic.